Give me 2 seconds. Got myself a lovely new headset, so hopefully the sound comes through nicely. You'll have to let me know if you can hear me well. Now, with this one, this game is all based on choice. Oh, I do love this game. Started playing this on the Xbox, really enjoyed myself. Spotted it on here, on offer, so I thought, why not? Seems the loading times take a while on here as well. It's all good. Glad I am a patient person.
12 dreams for the Red Queen under crown of stone. 8 voracious beasts born from 8 restless nights. 4 nails piercing the flesh of the sinner. 1 prayer for the summoned, called by this song. 'Tis perhaps the countdown to oblivion for the once proud city of London. 'Tis perchance her inhabitants' last dance alone to face death and pestilence. Confronted by the eerie and unknown, mortals became desperate for answers. A flock's flight makes for an omen, the falling of a star a dire presage. Turning to priests for interpretation when there was no reason to be found. When religion failed, men turned to science. I saw them build such vain cities, crafting machines made for endless war. New questions flourished as old answers withered. What is darkness but lurking sun? What is wall but enslaved stone? What is glass but tortured sand? What is song but a call to arms? What is hate but jilted love? What is life but death pending?
Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Oh.
Death. Since the apple was plucked from the sacred tree, mortality was believed to be God's punishment. A righteous snare to keep mankind from ascending to the stars. They were all so wrong. Death is not a wicked thing, nor some holy retribution. A true punishment would be to never know its sweet kiss. Awaken from the harshness and be born once more.
Okay, so this is a game I've played previously, not completely, but I've played on the Xbox, and so far I've really enjoyed it. I'll get this introduction out of the way. And then
Thirsty. So thirsty.
Everything will be fine again. My sweet brother. What have you done?
Mary! Oh, no. Mary! Hold on. Please, hold on. Oh, God. Oh, no. Mary. Mary. No. No. This horror. It's a nightmare. No! Please, a moment, let me explain! These patrols are after me. No!
Yes.
No! Don't shoot!
As the title entails,
This is a
yes,
nightmare.
it's about vampires.
I need to get out of here.
This,
can't be happening.
yeah. I'll explain in a moment.
No, please, stop! I mean you no harm. What's going on? Oh, Mary. What have I done? What's all this about?
Shit!
Now, I can defend myself.
Tricky bastards! Kill that thing! Over there!
Who are you? Stay back! Sorry, but you left me no choice.
Okay, so
Who
yeah.
are you? Stupid beast!
I'll take his head!
Sorry.
Yeah, so basically, as you can see, you're a newly born vampire. Throughout the game, you get to make choices of whether to keep people alive or to kill them. Yeah, I do
Please,
apologise,
stop.
like, yeah.
Doesn't like
Who are you?
filthy piece of shit!
What do you want?
I've been playing other games, so I'm a bit out of a bit out of touch with this one. Yeah, so throughout the game, you get to make a choice of killing people or keeping them alive and things. I really enjoy it.
I mean you no harm. I need help.
Die, you fucking leech!
Please, listen to me. I can't make any sense of this.
Shut up, beast!
Who are you? What is this all about? What in God's name?
I'll do the rest of the job.
Just leave me. The sun. It feels like it's burning me to the bone.
Which is what it should do.
I need to find somewhere to hide.
Over there! Right now! There's one of them.
Let me go!
Ah!
I need to find shelter. Is anybody there? What is this place? The place seems abandoned. I should be safe enough here. Mary, I'm sorry. Whoever did this to us, I will find them.
That seriously has got to be an awful thing. Imagine doing that, turning into a brand new, well, a newly born vampire and then killing a member of your family. Oh, that'd be a little horrific for me. I don't know about you guys.
This one's dressed up fancy. Let's run through his pockets.
Picking the dead's pockets? Are you serious?
I've still a rent to pay. He's got no more responsibilities. What's this? Gold watch.
Beautiful it is. We fence it and share the takings. I suppose we are undertakers. Now, give him an Eve.
That's impossible.
What else is there? Let's have a look. By the way, guys, if you spot anything that I happen to miss, like, please let me know, because I do have a bad habit of that sometimes.
Who goes there? Who's there? Are you referring to me? No! No! I still have so much to accomplish. I still have so much left that needs doing.
I was about to say, don't worry as well, his character does get explained.
Johnny, this one's lost. We need to leave. And now!
No! There's time. I can save him.
That's the enemy coming! The orders are to evacuate the hospital!
Done. He'll live.
And now what?
We fight. Killing is a hell of a lot easier than healing. No, it never got easy.
I believe that's everything upstairs and down the search. Ooh. 15th of October, bad sleep. Becky coughed all night and the fever made her delirious. I heard a loud noise in the morning. It's a big machine some men brought by the banks to dig a big hole in the ground. It was some sort of medical shovel. Maybe I could go there and ask for some work. Becky needs medicine. 16th of October. I talked to all of the men with the mechanical shovel. They told me they are digging mass graves all around London. Safety measures, apparently. Is there a new epidemic? Is the flu coming back? They had no work for me. Becky slept a little last night. The foundry had been closed. There was no more jobs nearby. 19th of October. I went to London to find some groceries and drugs. No trains. It took me a whole day to cross the Thames and come back. Becky seemed better. I made a soup. She ate. I found no drugs, only a few syringes and some sleeping pills on the black market. We have no money left. Maybe I could go to Pembroke Hospital tomorrow. But it's so far, and I fear leaving my wife for so long. Ooh, this isn't sounding good, is it? 19th of October. Becky threw up the meal a few hours after she ate. She is so frail now it makes me cry. She says she hears voices outside at night. She says she wants to eat meat. Where would I find meat? Tomorrow, I barricade the house to protect us from looters. 21st of October. The men with the mechanical shovel have stopped digging the mass graves. I heard shouts last night, and if they were attacked now... Ooh, this is not good. Yeah, I'm guessing it's roughly around that time as well. I never actually looked into it, to be honest. Now there are only a few boats throwing bodies into the night. Do you want me to just keep reading this, or are you content with like reading it yourselves? Or I don't mind either way. Or do you want me to just get back into it? Yeah, definitely around that time. It was around the wars. It's around while I've been playing on the Xbox, it's around the Spanish influenza epidemic. And not a problem. Yeah. Now there are only a few boats throwing bodies day and night into the giant hole. The smell is terrible. We should have left this house a week ago, but Becky, she refuses to leave. She'd rather die. She said with a nasty smile. Why is she torturing me so? 22nd of October. Becky just attacked me. She jumped on me from the stairs and tried to bite me. I had to smack her, but she smacked me back. I went upstairs and locked myself in the bedroom. Now I can hear her crying and mumbling downstairs. I retrieved the gun I hid in the ceiling since the war to protect the house. Now I am ready. Ooh! The game paused on me. How dare it? Now I am ready to use it to protect myself from my own wife. 23rd of October. I could not sleep at all. Becky spent the whole night scratching at the door, asking for my help, begging me to let her in. But I was too afraid to open it. I'm just waiting for her to die now. It would not be long. I pray God it will end soon. Oh, I really need to slow down on my reading. I'm getting ahead of myself. 24th of October. I was so hungry. I tried to go downstairs this morning. Becky was sitting in the armchair by the chimney. She was panting like a dog, looking at me without moving. Just followed me around the room with her eyes. I pointed the gun at her sore face, but she did not react. I could not pull the trigger. I went back to my room. 25th of October. The house is silent like a tomb. No more noises. Becky is dead now. Forgive me, my love. I was unable to save you. I'll be with you soon enough. Ooh, very grim. And obviously from that and the cutscene, we can kind of already tell what's happened. Okay, so I'm just going to do one last quick sweep of the house, just make sure I didn't miss anything downstairs. And then, if not, we shall sleep. But I believe I got everything. The door will just tell me I can't go outside right now. So, just to save you the time. No, that's it, okay.
This makes no sense. None of it. No sense at all. It's a nightmare. That's it. So be it. Rational thinking only. This is absolute madness. I've lost touch with the real.
Madness it is, as mad as the moon, who takes blinding sunlight into a glowing reflection.
Voice in my head. If I'm not mad, then it must belong to the one who made me what I am. I must find him to understand what I have become.
Where is it? It's closed.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
Here's the leech. Here! Come on, you!
My head's spinning.
Oi! Come out, you coward! Clever fucking beast!
I cannot enter. I'm still in Southwark. I must reach the West End. Go back home.
Die, vermin!
There's a strength I never knew I had.
Look out!
This shouldn't
We have
be
to stop
possible.
here!
Every sinew, every fiber of my being is afire. I feel like a child learning the limits of my body. My strength, my reflexes. I'm not human anymore. my poor sister. If only I had controlled my need for blood. Mary, someone will pay for what happened to you. For what happened to us. I can't believe I'm doing this. The dizziness from the jump. I can... control it. I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this. What will London have to say to me? I've so many questions unanswered. Another corpse. Have the very streets of London become a mausoleum? The man has been drained of all blood. But I can still smell the scent of it. I follow the scent's trail. Perhaps it will lead me to my assailant. Fresh blood. The smell is so strong. This is a slaughterhouse. It's locked. At last, a little life.
It's a good thing you cannot see me now, Mum.
My God, sir, you look like Jonah's whale just spat you out of hell. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you. I'm not thirsty.
Well, grab a chair and get some rest. This is going to be another long night.
Why is it going to be a long night?
You must be new around here. Don't you know about the murders?
Tell me more about these murders.
Every morning for the last few weeks, bodies have been found. And those poor sods didn't die of flu.
Do the police have any leads on a suspect?
Even before the outbreak, coppers never came round here. We're on our own. People die in these parts all the time, and no one cares.
Where am I? Where is this place?
You're at my bar, sir, the Turquoise Turtle. The last ray of light in this dangerous part of town.
Aren't you scared?
Scared of what? All the bad shit happens out on the foggy streets. And I never go outside.
So you're open all night?
Yep. Figured people might need a place to rest in these dark times.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently. Wondered if you might help.
It's been quiet tonight. The only other person I've seen went straight up to his room. Thought it was kind of rude, actually.
You mean he's still here?
Well, yeah. He paid for the entire week.
How long has he been here?
He rented the room a few days ago and didn't say when he'd leave.
Who is this man? What does he look like?
Well, like a gentleman, I guess. Well-dressed, quite polite. A professor or something fancy like that. Always writing, reading notes.
I need to meet this man. I have questions.
Just climb the stairs and knock on the first door. I heard him open his window, so I guess he's still awake. And,
Yes?
no funny business. You hear me? This is a respectable establishment.
Not long ago.
This is no place for you. Prewen has several patrols roaming the area.
They do not pursue me.
But they're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require...
I think someone is eavesdropping.
Are you certain? You might as well come in, whoever you are.
Slowly, vampire. Who are you?
I mean you no harm.
Say it, the vampire. Present yourself.
I need a word with anyone.
Well, that's something I can do for you.
And who might you be?
Tell me, who are you?
First, tell me what you want. Then I may tell you.
That's none of your concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
You can't be serious. I'm not a... No. I can't be a vampire.
Sir, believe me, this is very real. You are a vampire.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I'm performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
What have you uncovered concerning the murders?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docks have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
How different?
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless. It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
I heard another voice, that of a woman. Who were you talking to?
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
And what exactly is this Brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor. That explains a great deal. We're both chasing the same shadow.
Okay, so I'm a complete muppet. I temporarily muted myself because I had a big cough coming and didn't want to cough down everybody's ears. And then stupidly forgot to turn it back on, and I've been sat talking and wondering why no one's been responding. Oh dear, I'm very clever, aren't I? Okay, so what I was meant to be saying was I was going to give you guys the choices of these. So yeah, for now I'll just...
This is all new to me. I'm not even certain what I'm looking for.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
Okay, so what do you guys think? We'll end him, demand answers, or no idea? I'd say, let's end him. But if you guys have a preference, I will go with that one. Not a problem. End him. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'll end him.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
Ah, now that's interesting. I initially said I would ask questions. And it seems he says the same thing. Right, so back downstairs to
If
interrogate
Swansea
the
is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight.
Are they stupid or
Someone must
something?
know something.
I've never even been to India. Evening, sir. Can I help you?
I have a few questions for you.
Well, if you must.
Okay, so what I would have been explaining before, I stupidly realised I'd muted myself. Those 3-pointer questions with the why, they are obviously multiple choices. I want your opinions on it.
What's going on around here? Where is everyone?
Too many dead, sir. First the epidemic, and now all these terrible murders.
The murders. What can you say about them?
Bodies found in the streets every morning. Drained of blood. It's just horrible. Some say the sewer dog is back.
The sewer dog? What's that?
No one knows. People have always disappeared around these parts. The ancients say it's the sewer dog coming out to feed. But now he's killing in the streets.
Sorry. Oh, the sewer dog.
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu. Yeah. Killed so many last summer. Thought we'd seen the last of it. Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
Okay, so yeah, so I was right. It's the Spanish flu. It's around the time.
What is this place?
Spanish influenza.
The Turquoise Turtle. I'm the barmaid here, Sabrina, if you want to know.
Are you always open this late at night?
No, it's only since the epidemic started. Tom thought that people may need a safe place to stay.
You don't seem to have much business. Where is everybody?
Well, most people are sleeping right now. And those that are awake tend to avoid going out. What with the murders and all.
I just want to talk. I didn't mean to scare you.
I'm not afraid, sir. It's just I've other customers to take care of.
I only see one customer.
Oh. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I best check on them.
Yeah, it is an awesome name for a pub, isn't it?
I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth? What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight. And I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please, tell me what's going on.
It's Will. William Bishop. He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
What happened tonight?
He was dead drunk, as usual. But my God, his eyes. His face. He must have caught something awful. He shouted and cried. It was terrible.
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin. His hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the canning factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well... Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
There you go. Hints are very handy as well. Yeah. As a vampire, you need human blood to evolve. The blood quality bar indicates the XP you will earn if you feed from this citizen. Unlock hints to create the amount of XP. To increase the amount of XP, should I say. This is what I was on about earlier. Throughout the game, we get the choice of whether to feed on them or whether to leave them alive. This here, that's the memorized level. Obviously, that progresses through the game and through feeding on people if we choose to do so. But as you can see, we start to meet people throughout, and it tells you the status of the place. So we could make everybody healthy and then slaughter them all if we wanted to. I don't know. We will decide as we go through. But there's different places in we'll obviously go across and find more places as we go along.
Good evening, sir. I wondered if I could ask for your help.
Wow, you look like you need a drink.
Yes. I apologize for my outfit. It's been a long night.
Been there, seen that. Don't worry, things can only get worse.
Has anybody entered the bar recently?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bottle, see?
This is important, sir. Are you sure no one has come in here in the last few hours?
I don't know and I don't care. This is a free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
Sounds like the poor guy just wants to drink himself to oblivion.
What's going on around here? It's like everybody is hiding.
You must be new here. Have you not heard about the murders? Everybody fears the return of the sewer dog.
Who is this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman. Convenient answer for every crime that happened for decades. You murdered someone. Blamed a sewer dog, eh?
You make it sound like it's a fairy tale.
People will always believe in monsters. It's easier than accepting their own darkness. We can all be monsters.
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
Welcome back. Did you find what you were after?
I can't say I have. Are you sure no one else came into your bar before I arrived?
Hey, I told you, you were the only other stranger I've had.
Citizen hints. As a vampire, you can force the citizen to reveal information thanks to a hint you have discovered, which is prompted in blue.
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
Why lie to me if he is not your friend?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced customer, and that's the truth.
Very clever, very, very clever.
Who is he?
William. Just an old sailor who loves his gin too much. He worked for years at the canning factory before it closed.
Is he dangerous?
Yeah. Like many drunks, he's all bark and no bite. He can barely stand up most of the time.
How was he tonight? Was he different?
Sicker than usual, perhaps. He whined and mumbled about how mean people were to him and how he'd like to talk to me outside, and then he left when I refused.
Wonder why.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What'd you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Thank you, Tom.
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
Alright then, mate. I believe that is everybody in here. Ah, there you go, see. He's fatigued. But we could help him later on. And then guide him off and eat him.
I think I'm losing my mind.
Don't know. Depends on everybody's preference of whether you want to keep people alive or
I
them
will
out,
get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city.
Oh, lovely.
The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood. This man was armed. He tried to defend himself. This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim.
Looks more like it's been covered, but okay.
What's this? Some sort of note. Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker. There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
So is it gonna let us? Yes, it is. Awesome. I do love this vision as well. It's very helpful when you're looking for clues throughout the game. Let's see if I can do this without screwing it up. Hey! And I didn't get hit once. I'm quite proud of that one. Let's see if we can do it again. Ah, yes, of course. Some enemies are more resistant to certain types of damage. There are 4 types of resistance: physical, melee and ranged, powers, blood and shadow. Orange indicates a medium resistance, red indicates a high resistance. There you go.
I'm cold. There's nothing here.
Let's head back to a warm fire. Shut that foolish mouth. Never know McCullum to be wrong about that. Right.
Is anything up?
No time I can remember.
Nosy.
But I've only been part of the guard 3 weeks to the day. This is not a place for you, sir. Over there! There's one of them burning!
Oh, we've got a ranged weapon. What have we got? Ranged weapons inflict both standard damage and stun damage. Personally, I prefer up close and personal. Beating their asses. To move over there, didn't you? You're gonna see me. Please don't see me. Please don't see me. Oh my god. God damn it. Had to see it, didn't you? Had to see it. Why? Just... That's all I have to say to that. Got so close as well. There. Hello, flower. Okay, so I'm just gonna go around and dodge the majority of them and whoop this guy's. But I think I'll avoid those guys just because I can. Rats often located near hideouts. I'm just going to keep doing this just to see if it does get you the achievement. I am curious. Come back here, you little... Get... Ugh. Seriously, would you guys do that? Like... Oh, I missed one. Get... Right, okay, so...
It's locked, all right.
Wrong way. Should be following that. Not wandering off in the other direction.
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
I'll not betray your trust.
This place reeks of bloodshed.
I had a drink outside tonight already in a...
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Oh, here we go. Stand there doing nothing. Ooh. Oh, that didn't take much.
William was an honourable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by Skal?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you... like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
It's like a magical dark fairy. No worries. Thank you for coming and watching. It's much appreciated.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows. I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
Yes, go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
I killed him. I killed him over here, didn't I?
This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed. A surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again, from a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
And for that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, This is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
So there you go. So that is who he is. Dr. Jonathan Reed. The first time I got into this was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Even now, second time, I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Oh, doesn't he look suave with that trench coat on? I think he does.
Oh, you bastard! You can do better than that! Nah! It's my turn!
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the source of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Okay, so we have another choice. What do you guys think? Should we tell him to be more polite? That we'll let him bleed, or that we'll kill him? I think I'd tell him to be more polite. I thought that was very rude. What do you think? Might make this a bit easier for these choices. Yeah, I was thinking that one. What I'll do for future is we'll do that as, say, we'll call it number 1, we'll call that number 2, and we'll call that number 3, so it just makes it a bit easier for next time. Ooh. Oh, we have a mix. Ooh. Let's see. Anybody else? See, personally, I think be more polite.
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Okay, so the blood quality. The blood quality indicates how much XP you will obtain from a particular citizen. The higher the blood quality, the more XP you get. Mesmerize. To drink the blood of your prey, you first need to mesmerize them to lead them out of sight from others. Your mesmerize level must be equal or higher to the citizen's resistance. Okay. So this is our choice.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. dance with him the dance of life and death.
This teaches you, obviously, the ways of the vampire. Blood temptation, press X to embrace, or we can release him. Embracing him will provide massive XP boost, but be aware there will be consequences. Learning more about citizens and collecting their hints will increase experience gain. So, what do you guys want to do? This is the decision that I was telling you about. We have this decision all the way throughout the game. So, we're going to take the dark path, or we're going to be good. Personally, I personally would like to take the dark path. The dark, okay. Let's see, dark path. Oh, I see, I wanted to do it so we could all do it together, if you will. But we'll go the dark path. Dun dun dun.
In the back, you bastard! Didn't have the guts to fight me. Fuck you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
You'll have a job killing me, mate. You're dead. Okay, so one thing as well, you hear the final thoughts of the people that you eat or embrace, as the game puts it.
To taste a life, to embrace its most intimate secrets. Such a burden, such a divine sin.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the time to talk to everybody.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I apologize, nurse. I needed some time to myself. This has been the longest and strangest night of my life.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in. How does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Okay, so let's find someone else to natter to. Who have we got?
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
I do love the irony of that as well. Being a blood transfusion specialist, being one of the best, if not the best. And then being a vampire at the same time. being able to get pretty much as
What
much
is the
blood as you
Pembroke
need.
Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
Okay, another choice. What do you guys think? Working in a better environment. What do you think? I'm torn between these two. Let's go if we didn't have much of a choice.
I can't say I'm thrilled to be working here, but to be honest, I
No.
didn't have much of a choice.
2 seconds too
Don't
late,
be
my dear.
misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Okay, so we need a hint for those. We need a hint for all of those. Okay.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
I really do love the detail in this game. I mean, look at the detail on his jacket. That is awesome.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated. He should be a standard. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Good night, Dark. Thank you for watching. It's much appreciated.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No, I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Hope you sleep well. If not, I may still be here.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Okay, so we're all out of there.
Goodbye,
We need
nurse.
hints for the rest
Call
of
me
those.
if you need assistance.
Okay. Let's go find someone else to natter to. Let's go find this gentleman, because he's
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah. Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Not a problem, darling. Have fun. As I say, I'll probably still be here. In case we can't do any of those, because we need hints.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Let's have a nosy. Okay. What have we got? I need a lot of these to upgrade weapons and things. Will, however, sell those, because I don't really tend to use them. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to keep that because we can recycle that. No, it's not Tippett's. We've already spoke to him. What else we got? Anyone else up there? That's Dr. Gwyneth. Nope. Okay. Let's have a nosy inside.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Sound more like a crazy lady, if you ask me.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Alrighty then. If you say so.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Definitely a crazy lady, if you ask me.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Okay, so I think we'll go for jealousy will not do you any good.
Aren't you too old for such jealousy? It really won't do you any good, you know.
Don't be ridiculous, Dr. Reed. A simple glance is enough for me to know you have nothing for me to envy.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money? Fame? Or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
I've saved many lives.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
Not very keen on Dr. Ackroyd.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Doesn't seem like a very nice man. What else have we got? Is there anything
What can
else
I
we
do for you, Doctor?
No.
Thank you,
okay.
Nurse Crane.
Just, you never know.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Is it me or does
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning
Looks
blood
like the guy from
transfusion, Dr. Reed.
Ghostbusters.
I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Flattery is useless.
You will obtain nothing from me by flattery, my young colleague.
Oh, I was not flattering you, sir. Not at all. Just clumsily expressing my sincere admiration.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True, true. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
No, I can imagine not.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time. What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Okay, so we need to get some more hints to do those.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Which we will get eventually. What else have we got? Let's have a look. Let's talk to Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Just on that one, why am I doing that again?
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
That's really sad.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
That is really sad.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. Oh, we can talk to these two. Awesome.
I'm alright.
Let's talk to him first.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Your throat hurts, but we're going to make you talk more.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I can imagine, but...
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
How painful is your throat,
Oh,
Mr. Goswick?
I've just asked
So
him that
painful
one.
I'd rather...
Let's not ask him that one again. Let's
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Alrighty then.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Let's talk to this lady then.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
So many hints for things. Oh, we need
Goodbye,
every
Mrs.
single
Goswick.
hint for that. Okay, so let's run into the doorway. I'm clever, aren't I? So who else we've got? We've spoken to you, spoken to you, spoken to you, spoken to you. Okay. Oh, someone we haven't spoken to. Let's speak to everybody and then... Ah, I think I know where this gentleman is.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plane and called medical...
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Buried in the same mass grave as your wife.
It's locked.
Oh, okay. So we can't go in there just yet. Well, I can't talk to him just yet, should I say? There's also the talk of losing the wallet outside as well, so that might be worth checking out on the outside, but this could be down here. I'm unsure.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Probably would be worth leveling up considering I'm only level 3, but... Oh dear, that was a heck of a... Oh dear, I'm probably gonna... Yeah, wow. Okay, so I've just died. Okay, let's go in and level up first, shall we? That would be the more sensible idea. Because I realised as I went into the battle, I looked at the level of the monster, then looked at the level of me, and went, oh dear. Wow. What a mistake to make. Why? Why does the loading screen take so long? Ah, there we go. Okay, so level up first. Oh dear. Okay, so let's just... Oh, we can talk to him now. Look at that. Why weren't you there before?
I'm Dr. Reed. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
One way to look at it.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Just to see. No. Yeah, you sell different things. Ooh. This formula written on a piece of paper seems complex and needs to be analysed. Ooh, let's buy that. And then those are ingredients. Okay, so let's go to our office and level up, because I believe we've spoken to everybody else. Oh, no.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
Okay, so let's tell us to change your attitude.
I don't like your attitude, Nurse Hawkins. Pessimism can be as lethal as the epidemic in times like these.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Okay. We need hints for all
Goodbye,
of
Nurse
those.
Hawkins.
Okay. Oh. Crazy lady.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Doesn't sound very nice, does it?
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
How close are you to Miss Hawcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Now that gentleman is a gentleman we can mesmerize. If we
Good
so
evening,
wish to
Mr.
do
Hampton.
so.
How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, Sora, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The wet boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
See, obviously earlier, as the game said, if you do stuff, it has consequences later on. There is one consequence. The gentleman we killed was Clay Cox.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
So we can't go in there yet. We've got known there, but we can't speak to her yet, so we'll go to our room. Let's make sure if there's anything we can see. That's the right, Amy, not the left. Doing well, aren't I? Found a new weapon, look at that. You know, that would be a good idea as well, actually, exploring the rooms. Okay, so we can't go in there. Oh, there's an upstairs. Can't go in there. Okie dokie, let's have a look around. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say we can't get in this side either. Yep. Okay. Can't get in there. There's nothing valuable there. That's Dr. Swansea's office. We don't need to speak to him just yet. We'll go to our... Okay, so... Go in there. Nope. Pop in here. Oh, there you go, look.
It's locked, all right.
Typical. Hideout. You've just found a new hideout here. You can spend your XP when resting or crafting
This must be
items
the place.
at the workbench.
It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
That is a good thing, not sleeping in a coffin. Okay, you first need to analyse the components you found to unlock recipes. So, There's these. So analyze these. Oh, and that's given us a nice load of new things. So what have we got? We've got treatment for fatigue, for anemia, for sepsis, for pneumonia, bronchitis, and a common cold. Ooh, a light regeneration serum. Very nice. Okay, so this is where we can upgrade our stuff. I will be looking into upgrading the stake, because I do find it very useful. The machete is what we currently have. Again, can't do it up just yet. Clay's hatchet is also another good one. And again, we won't be able to do it up just yet. And then we've got the recyclable stuff, so I'm going to recycle these. So that gives us components for doing these up. Can we do our gun? No, okay, right.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
No. Yo, welcome to the stream, man. I do love this game, I really do. There's just something running around as either a very nice or a very psychotic vampire. The load time takes forever though. It's the only disadvantage, I think. Oh, we've got a hat on now. Awesome. Okay, dear Jonathan, I asked Nurse Crane to secure an office for you on the second floor. Please forgive the austere decoration? Austere? I think? But Pembroke's Hospital is not exactly the Ritz. Sorry to let you discover your office alone, but I need to sleep a little before going back to work. I'm not just a mere mortal after all. I also gave orders to let you rest and for the staff to never enter your room. You will be able to sleep all day without being disturbed and work at night without raising any suspicion. I'm afraid the place is quite messy, but you'll be able to conduct your experiments here at your own pace. You'll also notice there is an open window with a scaffolding that will allow you to enter or exit the hospital without being noticed. I imagine how awfully new and disturbing this all must be for you. Believe me, I have studied enough of your species to understand what you must now be facing and feeling. Be assured, I'll do whatever I can to help you in this ordeal. Know that you're not completely alone facing it. I'm glad I met you. These dark times we are all presently facing. I hope our future collaboration will yield great results. Welcome to Pembroke, my esteemed colleague. We shall talk soon. Hello, Keith. Welcome. Yours sincerely, Edgar Griffin, Swansea. P.S. I left a copy of some of my notes concerning what I've discovered about Ekon in the last few years. Feel free to read it if you need some guidance, as long as you don't use this knowledge to take advantage of me. If that isn't a silent plea for basically, if I give you this knowledge, don't kill me. Okay. It is a rare opportunity and almost a privilege to approach a vampire, to observe their most intriguing physical and psychological traits with a scientific and rational eye. I am very good, thank you. How are you? Here are some of the most fascinating abilities I've personally discovered over the last 10 years while interviewing a few vampires, or Ekon as they prefer to call themselves. Supernatural speed. A vampire can act and move like a mortal in all his actions, but the trained eye will spot that they have the keenest senses and can react quicker than any mortal. Awesome. Not a personal fan of Fortnite, but I hope you're winning. On a few occasions, alarm, surprise, necessity to flee, I have seen a vampire move so quickly, it is almost as if he has vanished, just to reappear somewhere else. The human eye cannot follow their movements when they are when they act so quickly, but it is not a teleport or dematerialization. Oh. Apologies with these big words. I'm not a fan of it either, but the new update is nice. Oh, fair enough. Can't argue with that. It is only a supernatural speed. For me, it is like a cat-like attribute, which allows them to run, dodge, or jump longer and faster than us. I also noticed that such speed seems to exhaust them, and they are bound to physical limitations. Right, I'm going to presume that this is mesmerism. Ugh, being a muppet there. One of the most powerful abilities a vampire can deploy is the capacity to force a mortal to obey them. I call this trait mesmerism. But it has nothing to do with the mortal ability to alter the subject's mental state. A vampire can bend a mortal to their will, and they can even break their mind. A vampire I interviewed even told me the more a subject tries to resist, the more permanent the damage will be, as if the vampire could literally fracture their target's psyche. The same vampire explained to me that this ability required time to master, and that the result could vary widely from one subject to another. Implant a false memory, erase a painful one. The possibilities are endless and frightening. Blood awareness. This is the most catastrophic this may be the most catastrophic ability of all concerning vampires, since it is the cause of so many tragedies for them and us. Vampires crave for blood. Oh, blooming game! I wish you wouldn't do that. They must use their will to restrain themselves from frenziedly drinking every drop of blood they can see. They need blood to function and to express their full supernatural traits. A famished vampire can be very weak, even if he cannot die of hunger or thirst. This urge, this need for blood, may explain why a vampire is so aroused by it. A vampire confessed to me that blood can sometimes blind them since its smell and attractiveness can be so strong. When he focuses, a vampire can almost see blood all around them, inside warm bodies, through walls, and on supposedly clean weapon, etc. The same vampire even told me that he can see if the mortal has clean blood or is ill, and that in some cases he can even sense diseases, infected clothes, or even items in a room. If it is true, it could have many medical applications. It's almost beggars belief. It is very interesting way to look at it. Ah, I see, that changes your outfit. Right, okay. Because I'm guessing that's what's happening. Oh, as if it's making the game reload. Stupid thing. Oh my. Yes, my Wi-Fi does that every now and then when I'm watching a couple of you guys streaming. It could also be the game itself, because I do find it does stop occasionally, which can be a bit of a pain. Perhaps a traditional reload may help. But yes, I believe that's... Yes, it has. It's changed our outfit. Okay, well, I'm going to stay in this one anyway, because I prefer it. Let's open that one. Right. Let us sleep and upgrade our abilities. Alright, so... Obvious choices. I'm going to go for our health. Because, you know, better health is always handy. One I am going to do up is the biting, because I do like to stun the enemies and then bite them. It It's quite a fun one to do. Hopefully, eventually, we will get all of them unlocked. Yeah, no worries. Not a problem, man. I hope you've enjoyed my yammering. We'll increase our stamina as well. Because the stamina is used by the stake, and I tend to use the stake quite a lot, so... how much have we got? Right, we've got enough for 2 more, so we'll do up this one, and then we will do up our thirst. As I say, because I enjoy biting people, so it's good to have the biting up. Oh, always handy. Oh. Okay, that's really... Why did you have to go right there and not let me move? Yes, the consequences of your actions may improve or degrade the district's health status. It can also be degraded due to diseases spread among citizens. The more lives you take, the unhealthier a district becomes. If a district's health status drops below a critical threshold, it will plunge into chaos. It is for you to decide the district's fate. So obviously that's what I was on about with the killing people or keeping them alive. But obviously we destroyed Mr. Cox. See, oh, that's good. Obviously, as you can see, for example, Mortimer is fatigued. So if we get a treatment for fatigue, we can heal him and make him healthy. And then,
if I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Okay, so let's just have a quick nosy, see if we can actually make any of these. No, we can't, is the answer to that one. Okay.
I'm not one to make wait, Doctor. I've patients to attend.
Alright, Strasserella.
Yes, Nurse Crane?
Goodness
How can I
me.
help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Okay, so... Well, tell her there's nothing here, because she doesn't need to.
Sorry. There's nothing here.
Some of the patients won't last the
Wolfie.
night without them. Honestly, sir, I'm beside myself.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
Oh, excuse me.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Yes, I'll go and investigate that one. Don't you worry about that. Right. First, I am going to run downstairs and go into the garden and get the wallet. And hopefully now we've leveled our character up, my character up, I won't die this time. And I'm going the complete wrong way. Is it this way? Yes, it is. We can get out this way. Awesome. Right. Yes, this is the way I wanted to go. Right. This time we'll be able to kill this skull, and he won't be able to take us out so easily. We definitely need to look into upgrading the machete as well, because I do tend to use that, it seems. Right. There's got to be more around here. Yeah, there we go, look at that. Ooh, how dare you. Ooh, how dare you again. Ruthless. Oh, we've got 2 of them. Wish me luck, guys. Okay. Ooh. Goodness me. Ah! Get off me! How dare you! No! No! Ah! God damn it! Can't believe I died again! Oh, God. I really need to learn to use that dodge better. I know, right? It's alright, you missed it the first time. Went outside, went to take on a skull. Realised as I was taking it on, it was level 6 and I was only level 3. I didn't survive very long. It's not good. But we will get there. And my playthrough on the Xbox, I haven't died once. Terrible. Alright. Let's try that again. Oh, you've duffed us right back outside my room. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to quickly run downstairs and check with Milton at the shop. Because he might be able to have some crafty upgrades that I can use to upgrade the machete or the stake or something. Milton, where are you? Oh, and typical, the one time I come outside for you and you're not outside. Well, where on... Oh, you're there, okay. I'm gonna say, man. That just give me a... No, I'm seeing things.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Always.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Right. Oh, now. Was it the common handle part or the trigger part? I think it was the handle part we needed. I'll take all 3 of them if I can. Oh, awesome. Have I got anything decent to sell? No, nothing at all. Okay, well. Unfortunately, there is no sprint button on this. You just have to endure the jogging. Okay, so I have enough components to improve weapons. I know, that's why I went out and... Ooh, I have a pretty sword. Okay, you can upgrade your weapon to a new level which requires ingredients. It will inflict more damage and you'll also gain access to customization slots. Okay, well I'm definitely going to do the sword up and I'm definitely going to stick that in our possession. Because that is awesome. Okay, so blood absorption or more damage. Now we'll increase the damage. Because that's just awesome. Like, really awesome. That does, however, mean that I can't do the machete, but it doesn't matter because we've changed it completely. So I will go to this and I will change to that. And oh, that is awesome. Okay, for the empty slot we will stick Clay's hatchet. And for the offhand, probably won't use it, but we'll stick it as a backup just in case. Okay. Oh, what an awesome sword. Okay, so we might actually stand more of a chance against the enemies now. Hopefully. I do hope. If I die again, I might cry. I can do this. And then I'll look into getting some ingredients so we can do up people's health. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay, so I officially love this sword. That is awesome. Come at me, bro. Ah! No, don't die. I was joking. I didn't really want you to come at me. Oh, goodness me. Can't you take a joke? Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, this sword is just amazing. Oh, yes, that sword is awesome. I found my new favourite toy. A photography. Well, I think they could have done this one a bit better. A photography of a smiling and loving couple with a few words written on the back. Milton and Pippa forever. That's a lovely photo, I think. I think they got a bit wrong with the photography in a wallet. Surely it should be
So,
photograph.
Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item.
Photography.
Those two have hidden their affections well.
Still, that's amusing to me. Yes, just let's look at this photography that I have here. We'll go through the hospital. Because Milton is usually out the front. So we'll just run through.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Something like that.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
I can't actually blame you there, mate.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
And that's the best way it should be.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
Goodbye, Milton.
I don't feel the need to trade with him just yet. Let's go and enter the old morgue.
A lot of my
down the street and hang on, let's have a look. Ooh, no, wrong button. Okay, so oh, yeah, we're literally round the corner from it. Got the shops, hideout. I think that's it. So, yeah, pretty much. Okay. Most likely going to have to deal with more Skull. I can see it happening. Let's have a nosy around here first. Oh, that's literally where we come from before. Oh, okay. That's good to know. I was just about to say, what's going on there? No, no, we're just going into a loading screen, it's fine. Ugh. Yeah, most likely going to get attacked by a bunch of Skull in here. Oh, yeah, I've just heard them. Where are we going? Let's have a look. I suppose I could use that, see if there's any Skull in here. Oh, it sounds horrible. Oh. The music's very eerie. I like how they've done that. What else we got round here? Let's have a look. Okay, that just takes us into that room. There's no point in going through that door. What we got in here? Are we gonna get attacked by anything? No? Are we good? Oh, that's alright then. What else we got? Anything of interest? No? Nothing at all? Not even the book? No? Wow, all that room and 5 shillings. Ah, there you go. I knew we'd come across a Skull eventually.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Okay, so I seriously love this sword. I don't think
Balls of Mars. Fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Yeah, don't think I'll be changing the sword anytime soon. Oh, another dead body. Oh, wow, thank you for the bullets. Always handy, I guess. Can't go in there. It's locked. What's we got? Oh, I know, Amy. Let's press the
This
wrong
key
button.
will surely grant me access to the basement.
If not, we've just picked up a random key. I'm also gonna take a guess. Can we? Oh no, we can come upstairs as well. Awesome. But that seems to be it. Okay. I do always find it's worth exploring in games like this. Ooh, that creeped me out a second. That was another vampire, that's for sure. Oh, look at all the Skull.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
I know the one of them ran down there. I'm gonna take a guess. Can't go through there. Is it just... Oh no, there's a couple of you. Okay. Where's he gone? Camera went all skew whiff on me then. Couldn't tell me ups from me downs. We're obviously looking for something. Where is this thing we need? Ooh. A new citizen investigation is available. We'll have a look at that. Citizens' investigations are displayed here, categorized by districts. You can start a new citizen quest by tracking it with X. Targets your map later. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so we'll have a look into doing some of those, I think. Office of Pembroke Hospital Medical Examiner. Report of investigation. Descendant Samuel Connor. Race Caucasoid. Sex male, age 39. Home address unknown. Occupation fisherman. Type of death natural. Probable cause of death: fast progressing pneumonia by virus induced pulmonary consolidation, in brackets Spanish influenza. Examination attendees: Dr. Corcoran Tippett. Oh, I can never get these names right. Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Name and signature of medical examiner, Dr. Tippett.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? The chest was originally open to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Oh dear, Mr. Tippett. Haven't we been naughty? Are you going to be locked?
It's locked.
Yeah. But tisk, Mr. Tippett. So we'll find our missing ingredients, deliver them. Sounds like some pig squealing, doesn't it? It's just so beautiful. Alright. Okay, so that's the room we were literally in. Oh, big empty room. Oh, why does that not surprise me? Oh, really? Oh, what on earth? You are annoying me. Thank you.
These scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Oh, we have a crafting bench. Analyze that sample. What's that giving us? Oh, a light blood serum. Nice. Ah, there we go. Let's craft one of those. I can't craft anymore anyway. I will try and make a habit of keeping the crafting stuff done up. I believe that's everything. So what do you guys think of this game so far then? I enjoy it. I really am enjoying it. That away. Oh! Go away, Mr. Scar. Don't have time for you. Oh. Yeah, you didn't like that, did you? Oh, I actually took the other one out and I didn't even realise. Okay, there's nothing else. Yeah, that's my thoughts. I really am enjoying this. I also figured out another reason why I enjoy this game. It reminds me a lot of the Sherlock Holmes games. We have to go around and do a lot of investigating and things. Obviously the only difference with the Sherlock Holmes games is there isn't really any fighting. So it brings a couple of things together that I really enjoy. And overall, come on, you're a vampire. And welcome back, by the way. Oh, these loading screens. Why? I know I repeat this quite a lot during the loading screens, but come on. Even you guys have got to agree they take a while. Okay, so we've got a nice chunk of experience again as well. Where are we going? I don't know, but I've not been. Okay, so we'll take a run around the front, I think. No, I understand that one, my dear. Yeah. I get they're not sleeping. I've not been so bad recently. I've been able to get a bit more sleep than usual, but then I found myself oversleeping loads as well, and oh, it's been a bloody nightmare.
I have wasted too much energy for so little result.
Do you know, every time I read Indeed from you, darling, all I can think of is Indeed. That's how I imagine it. And now I've gone to the complete wrong person. I need to go inside. Yeah,
Finally, you've
Miss
returned,
Grumpy
Doctor.
Lady.
Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Okay. Diseases decrease the blood quality of a citizen. Use the correct medicine to heal them. Speak to the patient in the room behind Dorothy to check his medical status.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen. As for me...
Okay, so obviously
Good
we've
evening,
already...
Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
We've obviously already made a fatigue potion, so...
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
Okay, so we'll give him the medicine.
You are not a burden, sir.
Oh.
Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
3 hours, not good.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So
I've asked him
painful,
that
I'd rather
again.
not talk at all, Doctor.
Why do I keep asking him this question? Sorry, let's go for the
I'll
other
let you
answer.
get some rest, then.
I'm alright.
Oh, that actually
Good
stops
evening,
talking to
Mr.
him
Goswick.
completely.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Need to ask him about the hospitalization.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
You're in good hands.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Sounds like a rather overbearing mother.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Oh. Do love running into these doors, don't I? Okay, so we'll... Blood temptation. Remember, citizens' blood will provide you with a massive XP boost. Look for citizens to mesmerize, level or below, and choose wisely. Okay, so there is actually a couple of people already that we can mesmerize and eat them if we were to choose to do so. Ooh. Sorry about that, just brushing the microphone. Okay, so we'll talk to Dr. Swansea and then we'll go and level ourselves up because we've got a lot of XP sat there.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
And for such a low level, we can use that now.
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
Okay, so another choice again. I'm gonna go for the fact that we're a living paradox.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
Okay, so what do you think on this one? I think we need each other.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Okay, right, so we'll go level up a few of our abilities. Just to save us having to come back in a little bit. And I'll also see if we can craft up any more potions of any kind, or... I know we probably won't, because I haven't really... Oh no, there you go. Oh. I'll craft a couple of those, because I've found, while I've been previously playing, I do come across a lot of people who are fatigued. Right, what do I actually need for that? Oh, I can actually upgrade it, even better. Okay, so... Okay, now I can't do this. Aluminium powder and the shards. Okay, so I'll look into grabbing some of those. But first, we will upgrade our abilities. I love the detail with the eyes as well. Look at that, bloodshot eyes. That's ace. What have we got? Shadow Veil, Spring. Mission, Blood Barrier, Shadow Mist. Okay, I think we'll just work on the basics for now. Play about with some of the abilities after. Okay, let's do our stamina up. You need your stamina for when you're smashing the enemies. Okay, and then we've got... No, we'll do that one. Because I do like to get up close and personal. And I think that's all we'll be able to do for now. Oh no. Got blood capacity or the absorption. We've got syringes and bullets. I'll tell you what, we'll upgrade that one. Because I have a feeling we may need that later. Oh, no. I don't want to cancel them all. That would be a major pain in the derriere, to say the least. Okay, so everybody's healthy in this district. That's good. I think. Where are those level ones? There are a couple of level ones. Ah, there's one. Harvey Fiddick. We could mesmerise him and eat him if we wanted to, and the same with Thomas Elwood. Let me know if you want me to take people out or not. Because you shout in the comments and we will look into it. Oh. I'm doing the wrong thing completely there. Okay, let's speak to the benefactor. Ah yes, let's go speak to the benefactor. Kill them all.
Consider the offer from that Cadogan fellow.
So kill them all as we go along.
Took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Okay, so I think we should go for... I'm glad to see you.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
Okay, so do we believe her or not? I tend to believe her, I think. What do you think? And I'll wait on this one, because this is a simple yes or no choice, really. What do you think, Flower? Yeah, I believe her as
The
well.
world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, your ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
That must be a bit difficult to do.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
I must say, I don't think she's wrong there on the violent aspect.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Okay, so I think we'll take care of this.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Okay, so now we're not actually too far off where I've got to myself on the Xbox side of things. I've got to the point where she tells you pretty much everything you need to know. I'm not going to open my mouth and say anything because that would ruin it for people, and I'm not going to do that. I am not one for spoilers.
Bred with no respect. What? What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Ooh. I have questions.
Dr. Swansea is quite busy, and I need you to help me get acclimated. I have many questions.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
Are you the blackmailer?
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off they are.
Alrighty then.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
What an interesting
The
woman.
patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
Wasted too much energy for so
Okay, so should we mesmerize someone and kill them? We have Thomas Elwood. Or we have the gentleman with the children. I think it might be a bit mean taking out the gentleman with the children.
This hospital
But
seems to be falling apart.
which is this gentleman here?
I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
No.
Have you heard talk of any blackmail here at the hospital?
No. Nothing.
Wow, that was a short and simple answer.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick.
So we've still
I'll see
technically
you later.
got a hint left there.
Hospital seems to be falling apart. But in the circle.
So who's the unknown? Oh, I'm guessing that's the person Lady Bradbury's with. Let's go find these nurses. Now, I could have sworn it. Ah, that's why. It's because you're right there.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett in our situation?
Do you think she did the right thing? I say she took a very big risk for that. I do understand where she comes from. See, all three of these are very valid answers. Because, you know, all these choices. We'll go for you took a great risk.
Perhaps you did it with the best intentions, Nurse Brannigan, but you took a great risk. Must I remind you that a man died?
You mean you've never made a mistake? Never covered your tracks? Come on, Doctor. I wasn't born yesterday.
If you were born yesterday, love, you've grown up pretty damn fast. Okay, so that's all
Goodbye,
we can do.
nurse.
No,
Call
that's
me
the
if
point,
you need
actually.
assistance.
We'll go and find Dr. Tippett. I think he actually walked straight past me.
Safer here than anywhere else in the East End.
Oh, where would he have gone? Was that him? No, that was Dr. Ackroyd, Goswick. Ah, nope. I thought I had him then. Ah, right in front of me.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
No, I did not want to talk to you. Go away.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Go away. Don't want to talk to you yet. I wanted to talk to Dr. Tippett, so I'll come back to you. You, come here.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
Corcoran. Right, okay, so at least I know how to pronounce that now.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
I have no time for such triviality, my dear colleague. We're here to save lives.
Should we cover for him?
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Dunno. Let me just quickly check this. Is it this one? Ah, it's this one. Okay. Do you think we should cover for him? Choose what to do with Dr. Tippett. Cover Dr. Tippett in exchange for his resignation. Trust Gwyneth Brannigan and cover Dr. Tippett's error. Let's track that. Let's have a look at the details. Okay, so I don't think it's going to give me much more information than that.
So many deaths.
I mean, do we talk to Gwyneth
Good evening,
for
Dr.
his
Tippett.
resignation?
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Oh, sod it, let's just cover
I
for
will
him.
cover for you, Dr. Tippett, by keeping what happened to Mr. Connor to myself.
I don't know what to say, actually. I can't exactly force you to become my accomplice.
You didn't force me. This is my decision to make. I believe you're still of use to the hospital, considering the situation.
Then I can make you this promise. As soon as the epidemic is eradicated, I will resign.
We'll also eat him.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Okay. So, I believe that's that done, and that's given us a nice little bit of XP as well. What else have we got? That's reaching the pharmacy. Okay, I think we'll do one of these for now. Oh. Oh. Okay, so... Fine. That's just called a retinal. So where is this? Oh, it's right down at the docks. That is not what I wanted to do. That is a long way to go. Let's set a marker for there. So we can do that. Okay. So we'll have a quick word in there. There she is.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
That ability is incredibly handy.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
Touchy. I think... Ah, no, there we go.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes. Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
What can you tell me about the strange...
Let me guess.
Okay, she's just gonna say the same stuff.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Okay. So all that's left is Nurse Crane. And she's down by the docks in the general area that we're going anyway.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Is it gonna let me? No, okay.
Goodbye, Nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Press L3 to activate phases. If a citizen is behaving suspiciously, their heart will emit a distinctive glow. By looking at the citizen, you'll unlock the special interaction. Ah, I see.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
so I'm gonna reach the pharmacy and just get that bit done.
Go back home in
Or not. Okay, so... Oh, and there's a big guy. Not good. Not good. Amy, run. Run, Amy. Go. That is, not the wisest of ideas right now. Let's, let's go into the sewers, shall we? Started attacking, took down the first guy, spotted the level of the character, and went, oh no, let's run. It's not good, we will get there. Oh. You can have a quick nap in between these loading screens. Oh, oh, that one didn't take as long, that's not too bad. Yeah, I did run very fast. So off we go into these. Ooh, that sounds lovely. I'm in for a right treat. Yay! Let's see.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Okay, so that's that gate unlocked. I can hear them. Okay, let's go for this one first. Oh. Really must watch my stamina. Massive bludgeon. Cool. I'll be honest, I probably won't use it. Let's just have a nosy. Oh, there's another skull. Let's take him out. Get off me! Just stupid skull. Well, I'm gonna go and find this gentleman to rescue. Yeah, there we go. Citizen to save. Careful, an endangered citizen may not survive the next night. Go and check on him. Okay, so I would say yes, mate, you'll be fine, but my viewers are pretty savage and they will want to see you die. Oh, I'm getting my bulk boxed here. I'm stuck in the corner. Awesome. Can't believe I got cornered. Okay, so make your choice now, guys. I presume we're going to take him out.
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay. Okay, I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
All right, Mr. Thatcher, you're safe now. Do you think you can reach the street by yourself?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite invigorating. I'm sure you'll feel better if you do.
Okay, so what do you want to do, guys? Shall we mesmerize him and take him out? He has got a headache, so we won't get that much experience from him. Let's have a nosy. Okay, so he has a few hints locked as well. What do you think, guys? Take him out. Okie dokie. Well, I'm gonna... Alrighty then. Goodbye, my friend.
Newton, don't be sorry. We'll meet again soon, and we will be serene and beautiful.
I love the awesomeness of this music as well. Ooh. I'm missing shiny things. What's the matter with me? Probably could have got a bit more experience if we'd have helped him. Maybe sorted out his headache. Oh. Get here, you little... Nice. Ugh. I don't know why I said mice, they're not even mice, they're rats. Pile of blood. Oh, what's the betting we're gonna have like a boss battle? Oh, look at that. Oh.
What sort of creature is this?
Creature I am not interested in. No, get off me! Get... Oh my god, we can actually feed off him. Okay, let's do this. Oh! But you guys, ooh, but I would say this is our first proper boss, I think. Ooh, sugar. Ah, missed. Oh, how dare you. Come on, cup them up. Whop them up. Yeah. There we go. Got him. Oh, what an awkward position you seem to be in there.
Here's what's left of him. Not a lot to check, but I should anyway.
What do you think? Doing a bit of Pilates there? No screens watch it. If you are sick, if you have no money, whoever you are, wherever you're from, come see Dorothea to get help. No tricks, no charges, no questions asked. Just find Darius Petruski's house and present this coupon. And then the same again in a different language. I do not actually know what that language is. I'm going to presume... Looks like Russian.
Some voucher for a free checkup in
someone
Whitechapel.
else knows.
What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Come here, Mr. Rat. Get here. Go. Ah, there we go. Yes. Okay, so I was correct. Those who like to trophy hunt, if you eat 10 rats, you get a trophy. Alright, where we going? Okay, so before I decide we're going to go down to the docks, ooh, we will do a few more bits over here, because otherwise I will get my hiney handed to me, and I really don't fancy dying 3 times in one stream. Haha, no worries, darling. Sleep well, I hope. I'm gonna finish doing this last little bit and probably call it a night myself, to be fair, as it is ridiculous o'clock in the morning. Oh. Damn loading screens. It's gonna be my favourite complaint, I think. So let us return to the church.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed of the Pembroke Hospital. May I be of assistance?
Dr. Reed. So it's you who saved my friend Oswald. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
And you are?
Newton Blight. Oswald and I recently returned from the war.
News gets out fast. Unfortunately, he's too high to mesmerise.
You are always welcome at the Pembroke Hospital. As a former officer, I'll be honoured to welcome a fellow veteran.
I'm not giving up on bringing Oswald back to the hospital. I just need to convince him that he needs some help.
Perhaps he needs to reach that decision by himself.
Could you speak to him? He doesn't usually listen to doctors, but perhaps because you've been through it, you can talk him round.
Fat chance that'll happen.
Why do you stay here now that Mr. Thatcher's back?
It's complicated. Since the war, Oswald's been really nervous with the idea of entering any hospital. And me, I've got my own issues.
Can you speak about them?
Rats, sir. Even seeing one, they turn me. Just want to run. It's that fear that stopped me from going after Oswald when he left.
So you couldn't go down.
What can you tell me about the war, Mr. Blight? If you want to speak about it, of course.
War was... well, you know, sir. The stench of death everywhere. Your mates lying bleeding in the mud. Just praying to make it through and get home. Bloody nightmare.
Did you know Oswald Thatcher before the war?
No. We met in the battlefield. I think we're in the same boat to France. We've stuck together ever since.
I fought in France, too. I served as a field surgeon, but it was not uncommon to repel an assault, especially at night.
Yeah. The first time I was wounded, I had to protect the infirmary from hostiles. Twice.
That can't have been easy. Oh, we've unlocked all of them, look at that.
What caused your phobia of rats, Newton?
It happened last year following an artillery attack. I was trapped for 2 days in a hole under 2 dead soldiers. And there were rats.
Go on.
They started eating me as soon as I dozed. Gnawing at my ears, with fingers, lips. I couldn't move. Couldn't call for help.
I see.
No, you don't. You have no idea what it is to wake up buried under bodies. Fucking vermin eating your flesh. Oswald. He found me and saved me.
Damn, that's definitely not good. I can understand that phobia.
How do you feel about Oswald Thatcher? You are more than friends, aren't you?
I love him. I love Oswald. We knew we wouldn't survive the war without each other. I am terrified, Doctor.
What frightens you so much?
What if people find out? Oswald says I'm ashamed, but it ain't that. It's more, well... You know... I never thought I'd love a man.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy your love. And enjoy life as long as you can, Mr. Blight. Don't let anyone tell you who you should love or how you should love them.
I appreciate your kind words, sir. But it ain't that easy. It's all so new to me.
You and Oswald were buried alive during the war. Tell me about it.
Yeah. It was last summer. A shell hit our trench and we were buried for a week.
Oswald seemed far more traumatized than you by the event.
It wasn't the first time it happened to me. Surviving it again gave me strength. You believe that?
How did you survive for a week?
Luckily for us, there were rations and water in the tunnel. It was an outpost, see? Since then, Oswald's not keen on being inside for too long.
Goodbye, Mr. Blight. Take care of yourself.
Shame we can't mesmerize him. Okay, so I'm gonna go inside and evolve, I think. Let's just check, see if Milton's got
Good
anything
evening,
worth
Milton.
taking.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
It's not a gun I'm after.
I met him in New York once.
Oh, awesome. So I'll take those. Definitely need the powder. Ah, damn. Not good. We do have junk to sell. Okay. Can recycle those into components. So
If only there were more of us, with less resignation and more determination.
definitely must be a difficult time to go through. Having a war going on in the background and then having to deal with the Spanish influenza on top of that. Can't have been easy. Ooh, everything's restocked itself, nice.
It's locked, all right.
I don't know why I keep going to that either.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Yeah, I need to figure out with that one. I've tried looking for a jar around the room before. Not really found anything. Okay. So, have we got enough now? Yes, awesome. Okay, so we can either increase the stun or the handling. It's not really a lot, but neither of them are really. Let's go for the handling. Do I need to do that up? Oh, I need quite a bit to do that up. Okay. Is that giving us anything we can use? Yes, but not everything. Okay. Just gonna create a couple of these where I can. So we've got them on hand if we need them. this as well. Okay. Oh, never checked my gun. Ugh. Need another common trigger part. Okay. Sort that one out at another time. Okay, so where did we get to with the biting? We got to level 2 on there. Okay, we'll do the blood and the bite up. Because it's only 300 each. And then let's have a look at the claws. How much is that going to cost? Okay, that's going to cost 2,000, so we'd have to save for that. Let's have a look at that. The vampire concentrates shadows around their prey to make them explode after a countdown. This explosion will injure anything in range with needle-like living spears. Oh, that sounds pretty good, to be fair. Vampires often use this to wipe out groups of enemies from a distance. They think they can challenge us with their tools, but no. Yeah, okay. Let's do that one. And I believe that is what we can do. Let's check this one, because that also, yeah, okay. And that'll do for the upgrades. Awesome. He's gone missing. Oh, okay. We've not long spoke to him either, and he's gone missing. Okay, urchins. Your actions have impacted the borough's economy. So I'm going to take a guess and say things are probably going to be a little more expensive. Okay. And on that note, guys, I am going to call this stream to an end because I'm getting tired. But yes, thank you very much for everyone who's tuned in. Cheers for subscribing as well, guys. Much appreciated. If you haven't, please do subscribe. I will definitely be streaming more of this. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I bid you all good night.